So this is my 3-burner razor griddle. This thing has been a tank. I have had this thing for a year and a half, 2 years in London, and then I put it on a boat and had it sail across the 7 seas for about 4 months to make it here to New Zealand. After that journey to Middle Earth, I think it deserves some TLC, so I'm gonna give it a bit of a makeover with some absolutely sick colors, and it's super easy as well. And I want to start by doing the side shelf and the lid, and doing them a bit of a favor. Disassemble the griddle. The Razor is designed to be pretty chill in this aspect. You don't need a degree in the mechanics of a griddle to get this done. Believe me, I know. I've got a degree in art. Professional. Sugar soap is great stuff, not for eating despite its name. It's great for getting the grease and gunk off, but I implore you to wear gloves, unlike what I did. I didn't because I already told you, I'm an arts major. Practicality doesn't grow on trees around these parts. So yesterday it was absolutely bucketing down with rain after I got these washed, and I was watching these get soaked outside. Now they're all dry. But I had an epiphany that if I take off these bolts here, like I said I wasn't going to do, I'll actually just be able to slide a bag in between the side part and the middle part and make my masking tape job a lot easier. So there's one on there. Cool. So yes, so as you can see, it sort of allows for access basically all the way up until that rivet right there on both sides. That scores quite nicely. I'm no expert. I'm just a guy with a griddle and access to the Razor Griddle YouTube account. I decided to sand the original paint a bit to help the new coat adhere. Nothing quite like a mechanical bond to help things along. Try to scuff everywhere you can reach, but also don't go down to bare metal. Now, if you've got a couple of patches of rust, I recommend putting on a bit of rust converter liquid. I'd like to reiterate that this was 4 months open and unprepared at sea. I'm sorry! And this was the only damage it sustained. Razor griddle.
You're my hero.
Dug, dug, dug. And that'll go black as basically a primed surface at this point.
There are times in a young man's life where he evolves from spring chicken to a rooster through something painful. At this point, he was only an hour away from such an event. You see, the bags he is using are biodegradable, but also dissolve freely in not quite dry automotive paint.
Looks like that should do the trick. The bag has done most of the work. The spray paint I've got is this engine enamel. It's resistant up to 300 degrees Celsius, which is something in American Fahrenheit, I'm not sure. For this, it should be fine, but the Razor Griddle puts out a huge amount of heat. So when I get to the main body of the griddle, I'll have to swap it out for something a bit more extreme. Do I think this will work? Potentially. Am I nervous? Abso-frickin-lutely. Oh gosh. Okay, let's give this a go. 25 centimeters it says. So the whole idea is we're going to do a few coats of this just to make sure that we've got a nice sort of thick layering, and then flip it over once it's dry and do the inside. This is turning out better than I thought.
So the wind blew the bags directly onto the touch dry surface and they dissolved on. I panicked and didn't film the error, but just be aware. I also took my anger out on the side shelf.
Here's the part that I'm most nervous about, the edges. So I've got Ford light blue. Now the Razor blue is actually quite a bit darker than this, but I couldn't find anything that was of an appropriate heat. So we're just gonna have to see how this goes. Yeah. I've switched locations due to the rain. Yeah, as I was saying, this is quite nerve-wracking. So, whoa. That's so blue. Whoa, so blue. Well, I'm not going to be getting a job on Wheeler Dealers anytime soon, but I think it looks kind of cool. I'll have to reassemble it now and we'll see what it looks like. So spray these in a bunch of WD-40. Make it a bit easier for the next time when they go on. Oh my god. This could get me into trouble. I like that colorway though. That looks cool. So I am pretty sure that this is the only razor griddle in existence in this color. I am absolutely loving it. The question is, will my boss love it? Well, the best way to find out is if the razor griddle starts coming out in a range of different colors, I'll be taking credit for that. And this Ford light blue is just fantastic. The color doesn't quite match these, but that's okay. As for the work that I've done, it's a little on the patchy side. I never claimed to be perfect, but we had a few issues, a few things to look out for when you're trying to do this. Maybe have a clean workhorse to work off. I was working off sawhorses that had paint on them already, and that paint just came straight off onto my beautiful, freshly spray painted black finish. I also got a little bit of overspray, some here, from my spot fixes, and also got some overspray of blue on this side, which I've patched up with the black. But other than that, there's nothing that can't be fixed. The side shelves come out pretty good, looks fine. So I'll be needing to get this fixed. So basically what I'll be doing is I'll be getting some stainless steel polish, bring that one back up to scratch. And then this part here, which is exposed to some incredibly high heat, we'll be getting a fresh coat of paint. I've got some stuff that goes up to 1,000 degrees Celsius that we'll do in the next video. And this part here is just going to get a straight up refurb. I'm going to reset that seasoning from scratch. Now, you can do this at home. I've just done it. I am no expert in these sorts of things. But one of the things I'd recommend is don't do orange. We don't like orange around these parts. Just stick to your reds, your blues, your greens. They all look great. Orange, obvious reasons, not so flash. But if you've got one of the orange ones that's already orange, feel free to paint it a different color. We love that around these parts. So this is episode 1 of the Razor Griddle Refurbish series. It's gonna be a good one.